What's up, guys? Mo here with an interesting kind of rant video. I was gonna film this when I got home, but I'm in my car right now, sitting in a garage, so I'm not driving, don't worry. And this is something important that I'd like to share with you. It's kind of a rant. And it's about the thin line between selflessness, being selfless, and selfishness. And how I think that line can be and should be pretty thin. But both sides of the line should be respected. So here's my story. I just walked out of this meeting, right? So I was invited to be a counselor for this retreat at my university, right? And I think the retreat, as far as I know, this is kind of silly because I didn't know much about it. I kind of got asked to do it. Anyway, the retreat was supposed to be about discrimination on campus, right? So we were going to talk about sexism, heterosexism, classism, racism, if I didn't say that already. All those kinds of things. It was going to be a great social justice retreat, right? For other students on campus to go to. And people like me, the counselors, were going to lead all of these awesome kind of thought-provoking discussions on, racism, classism, heterosexism, blah, 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 that's going on in our campus and in our world, and how to change that, make our world a better place. So it seemed pretty cool, right? Well, you had to go to this training today. It is Sunday, by the way, February 23rd or 24th, whatever. It's Sunday. And this training was from 2 till 6. And it's look on my phone, it is 4:50 right now. I walked out early of this thing. So, I just wanted to share with you guys why I left. So, even though the premise behind this counseling training was awesome and doing this retreat, which is next weekend, I couldn't do it for personal, moral reasons. And for me, it was about the leader who was training us counselors. So, the leader of the leaders, right? He was, leading this counselor session. His name was Eric. Doesn't matter, you won't know him. And he seemed like a nice guy at first when he introduced himself, a couple hours ago when I met him. But things quickly turned around. So around 3:25, we took a quick little break. We had already been sitting there for an hour and a half, and he gave us a quick little, food, restroom, water break, and we needed to be back by 3:35. Well, I guess I walked back into our little room that we were having our counseling session in our training in. I walked in right at 3:35, right on time, right? I didn't really pay attention to the clock. I was pretty sure that I was on time. I kind of dilly-dallied a little bit and then went pee and came back, and I thought I'd be on time. Well, as soon as I walk in, pretty much, and I sit down and I wait for us to start, he's like, "So, Mo, what time did you get in here?" All patronizing and shit. And I was like, I was, respectful. I was like, "I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure I was on time. I didn't, I don't wear a watch. I wasn't looking at the exact time." And I was like, "If I was late, I apologize." And he was like, "Okay, you didn't answer my question. What time did you get here?" And I was like, "I didn't look at the clock." Once again, I was actually respectful. This story will be told from the voice that I wish I would have spoken to this man in. And he just kept drilling me. He was like, "No, one more time, what time did you get in here?" And I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't know what end he was trying to meet. And I just felt like he immediately disrespected me and my time. I showed up right on time. All I did was go pee. I don't know. And he made this big fucking deal out of it. I mean, I think you just kind of had to be there. Totally put me on the spot. I felt like it was very disrespectful. And not because of who I am, identifying as trans or whatever, because this was a very culturally open group. I just think he was just being an ass. And then he went on to talk about how our integrity as counselors or as leaders for this retreat, we have to be true to our word and hold on to your word. Basically our word was, we'll be back here ready to go at 3:35. And maybe it sounds silly. Maybe retelling the story doesn't really explain the severity of how I felt the situation was there. And then he ended up calling more people out about how maybe they were in the room ready at 3:35, but they weren't present. For example, one guy was kind of on his phone. These other two people were kind of chatting, and how they weren't really present. They weren't ready for the meeting to actually begin, And he was like, I'm gonna open up the floor and give everyone a chance to redeem their integrity or some shit. So I stepped up and spoke first, and I was like, well, this meeting was I was like, I think that I did not respect the 3:35 time requirement because the meeting was supposed to start at 2, and you didn't start this fucking meeting until like 2:15 or 2:20 or something like that. I was like, so maybe internally I did not respect the time requirement because you didn't respect the fucking start time requirement. I got here, 5-10 minutes before 2 o'clock ready to go, and then you didn't start this fucking meeting until 2:15, 2:20. I was like, maybe that set a bad standard. And he was like, that's a follower statement, not a leader statement. And then it was just like, all this fucking disrespect. And back to, I guess, like the main point, that's the story, kind of had to be there, I guess, of defining the line between selfishness and selflessness. I think that me volunteering to do this training, me giving up fucking 4 hours on my Sunday, my fucking weekend, to, help these people and to, contribute to this campus, I was happy to do that. And then I get disrespected, and I understand that the reason he called me out wasn't probably to be disrespectful. It was to kind of make a point. Like, hey, everybody, we're going to honor our word. We need to be we need to have integrity. If we're going to be leading all these students this coming weekend at the retreat, we have to be true to our word. They have to respect us as counselors. I get that. I'm not an idiot. I've led people before. I've been captains of teams. I know all about leadership. But I just felt like he burned a bridge with me. I was giving up my time and my efforts. He could have pulled me off to the side and said, like, hey, dude, you were a little bit late. Can you not do that again? Would have been perfectly fine. But I just felt like this deep down burn inside that was like, this isn't for me. I can't deal with this guy being like my boss, if you will, for the next week leading up to this retreat, which is a 24-hour lock-in, by the way. I was like, I'm not going to be locked in a room with this man for 24 fucking hours. I'm going to want to, escape or something. Like, and I felt bad for leaving. Sorry this video is so long. I felt bad for leaving because I was going to contribute something special, I think, to these people at the retreat this coming weekend. I was going to have, everyone, all the counselors there, all had different identities, and I was, as far as I know, the only trans person. I was going to contribute something very unique to increase the cultural competency of this campus and some of the future leaders of this campus long after I'm gone. And I feel somewhat bad because I abandoned that opportunity by walking out. I'm about to go the fuck home. But, I think that there is a line between selfishness and selflessness. I realize, though, that I contribute to my culture, to my, my trans people out there, or to people out there that need to understand trans people, or people of the LGBTQIA spectrum, by educating in other ways. I speak to classes on campus. I do these videos. Hell, I hope that people that aren't in the LGBTQ community watch these videos and maybe learn that we're all normal and we all are, respectable members of this society. We all have our own, contributions. But I realize that I contribute in my own special way. For me, it was selfish to leave, but I can be selfless in my, in my goal of, making, the LGBTQ community more normative and more accepted in other ways. And I still do that. And, bottom line is, for you guys, anyone watching this video, stick to your guns. I thought about it. I was sitting in there and I was festering. I was kind of pissed. And I was like, I should just stay. I started it. I might as well finish it. It's only, this next week, and then I'll never have to see this man again. I could just suck it up and finish it. But stick to your guns. If you feel strongly moral obligations to yourself, and if you're gonna be miserable, like I would have been having to deal with that guy, I just I don't think it was for me, and I think I made the right decision. I feel great about it. I hope to email that man. I don't know his phone number. I don't think he's from here. He's not at my university. I hope to tell him how I really feel in a very respectful way still. But I really think that, he did not respect me and my time, and he did not gain my respect before he called me out and kind of went off on me. If he was someone that I knew very well, if he was other mentors, other people that I have on campus that, called me out like that, I'd be like, man, it's because they love me. It's because they care about me. They want me to be better. They want me to better myself. I'm kind of mad, but I understand. I did not know this man from Adam. And he, treats me, like he, like he can just, I don't know, go off on me. It just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it was personal. You guys may not all agree with this, but I hope that at the end of the day, this video is long as fuck, so if you're still watching, like I said, stick to your guns, you know, do what makes you happy. Do you. You're all, you know, awesome and beautiful in your own ways, and you're all going to make your own contributions, and you're going to make this world better, and you can do it, but do it under your standards, you know. Don't let anyone else tell you how to make the world a better place, or how to live your life. You know, do you. Find the strength to do you, and it's hard. And I think that this is something, I'm a senior in college, I'm 21, and I'm finally learning to say no. To tell people no. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't have time to do that. You know, I used to be my boss at work called me Superman, because I was doing everything. I was playing soccer, I was doing this, I was helping out with that, I had this meeting and that meeting, and it sucked, you know, and it felt good to be that busy person. Like, oh, I've got so much to do. But, you know, if it's not making you happy, and it's not serving you as well as others, you know, don't, you know, like I said, stick to your guns. I think that things you do in life, like I said, there's a thin line between selfishness and selflessness, and I think that being happy is a balance somewhere in between that, you know, somewhere to where you can make sure you have you and your time, and but, you know, still making contributions to others and making others happy. I do think that it's that balance, and I think happiness lies in that balance. But I'll catch you guys next time. So sorry for the video. Maybe, I don't know, share your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.